In this video, I'm going to be talking about dopamine and how it controls your whole life. Dopamine is your body's reward system. Pretty much whenever you complete a task that you want to do, or eat food, or get with a woman, it releases dopamine. This is a natural, evolutionary, pretty much thing that your body has developed to motivate you to complete tasks and repopulate the earth. Companies have turned it into a weapon, putting you in dopamine loops where you get stuck for up to 8 hours sometimes. People get stuck in a loop because they never complete the task. It's an infinite dopamine loop, and you're just getting more and more and more and more and more and more. So this video, I'm gonna keep it very boring. I'm not gonna change the background. I'm not gonna add any music. I'm not gonna change the framing. I'm gonna make sure that if you cannot sit here and watch this whole video, your dopamine is probably cooked. But if you're able to sit here, retain what I say, and implement it into your life, you're gonna be able to make a difference. So first off, let's talk about how dopamine works before we get into how to actually fix it. Like I said, it's your body's reward system. I have done literally hours and hours and hours of just studying on dopamine and how it pretty much works in your body. And like I said before, it's just your reward system. So whenever humans were evolving over time, pretty much your brain right here had to figure out, all right, how am I going to make this person, how am I going to continue this species pretty much? How am I going to continue this race? Well, it has to feel good to make the next generation. So that's why, intercourse gives you a massive dopamine rush. Also for food and hunting, back in the day, you had to hunt for your food. You had to go out in the woods, you had to go build a spear, whatever the fuck, and you had to go kill some shit, and then you had to cook it. And when you cook it and ate it, when you eat the food, it makes you feel good. You get that dopamine rush. So you had to complete a task to get the food. So it normally was completing task, getting the reward. That's how dopamine works in your body. So even like bright colors, for example, this is how business is using it now, bright color packaging, because this is just gonna draw your brain in, give you a little bit of dopamine, because it's not bland, it kind of has color, so it's gonna just draw your eye in. So that's why you feel good looking up at the sun whenever it's like a bright sunny day, or you see a sunset that's very good and has tons of colors. It's that natural dopamine that your body was pretty much releasing from seeing the colors. So dopamine is an amazing thing, and if you can use it right in your business or trying to build a business or trying to get rich, controlling your dopamine is the #1 thing that you need to be doing, because controlling your dopamine is pretty much controlling your focus, what you're giving your time to. The problem is people spend 8 to 12 hours a day on average on these phones scrolling. So whenever you open up Instagram, whenever you open up TikTok, whatever it is, you start scrolling, and you'll catch yourself an hour later sometimes, and you just like zone back in. You're like, what the fuck did I just do? Did I just waste an hour? Did I waste 2 hours? And everybody's a victim to it. I don't care what you say. Every single person falls into this. I know I do. I'll sit here and go post some videos on my phone, and guess what? I'll catch myself scrolling for 30 minutes, and I'm like, fuck, I just wasted 30 minutes of my day getting cheap dopamine that's pretty much going to not help me at all. So another thing is you pretty much have baseline dopamine levels. So whenever you're sitting here consuming stuff all day, your baseline's gonna drop. So you're gonna feel depressed, unhappy, just less good about yourself whenever you sit here and scroll all day. Or say like going to the gym is a natural dopamine, serotonin booster. You're getting that boost from putting in the work, training your body. Your body rewards you with dopamine for doing hard things pretty much. So this is giving cheap dopamine, bringing down your levels. So it's so much harder to get anything else done. So if you're starting your day just scrolling or wasting time on this and getting distracted, the rest of the day it's going to be so much harder to get those harder tasks done because you've already wasted all that dopamine on this shit. So how do you fix this? How do you break free? It's probably been years, a decade for some of us, that we've been sitting here stuck on these. So somebody who I've spent the past several months just trying to figure out how to optimize my life where I can still get tons of work done and block out most of the distractions. So #1 is I have 2 phones. This right here is my business phone that I do my TikTok and stuff on. I have all my social medias. The phone I'm filming on right now, this is my personal phone. I don't have social media. I have YouTube on it because I watch educational content, and like I have music in like Google and ChatGPT, but I don't have social media like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Like I don't have stuff like that on this phone right here that I'm filming on. So I don't carry this phone around. Whenever I'm done with this, I'll put this in my lockbox, and I only take it out whenever I need to produce content, whenever I need to create content. Instead of consuming content, I have it locked in a box so I can't get to it. Has a little key to it. That is number one. You need to set a barrier and create some sort of tension, because if you don't create a tension, it's going to be so easy for you to just pick it up and start doing it. You have to create a barrier in between it. Now, for completing tasks, you have to make a daily list, a daily schedule. This right here, every single one of these is a day of work that I did, and some days are less than others. Some days, like today, this is all these stuff that I have to get done today, and I have a checklist. So every single day, I write down, actually the night before, like last night, I wrote all these down, and I thought about everything I needed to do. I thought about everything I needed to do today. So today, we had to work on our software company. I have to film UGC videos for a company that I have a retainer with. I have to film a YouTube video, which I'm filming right here. I have to work on some other stuff for our app. I had to deep clean my house, wash all my clothes, do all my dishes. I had just tons of stuff written down. I have to go take my car to the mechanic. I have to go to the grocery store after this. So I have about 10-ish to 12 hours worth of work that if I focus in, I can get this all done in one day. But if I didn't keep a list and check it off one by one, it would be so much harder to focus on what I needed to do. So you need to write down every day your goals for that day. And if you don't get them done by the end of the day, you failed the day. So it might take you a couple weeks of getting used to getting this, but doing this has made me millions of dollars in sales online. Like literally keeping up and making sure I stay focused. And some days I do fail, but most of the days I don't fail. So if I'm failing 30% of the time, that means I'm winning 70% of the days. Rather, if I was not doing this, I'd probably be losing 70% of the days and winning only 30%. So keeping yourself accountable and holding yourself back from that cheap dopamine, and you actually get dopamine from completing these tasks. You feel good completing these tasks. So that's just some things that I've really been working on and noticed about dopamine. It's just, you have to take back control of what these companies are trying to do. They're trying to hold your attention and pretty much sell it for ad space and ad spend. So take control of your life, build that business, get rich as fuck. And like I said, if you can control your dopamine, you can control your whole life. So if you made it to this point of the video, you still have hope. You see the problem, you clicked and watched this video, you see the issue that's going on. You see what these companies are doing, holding people's attention for ransom, pretty much just putting you in this fucking loop. So I encourage you to make a difference, make a fucking change, because if you don't, it might be 3 years from now that you have this same idea, this same thought. Because I know sometimes I've went through phases where I was like, I'm gonna quit scrolling, and I'll start scrolling again, and I do it for a year, and I don't thinking about like not scrolling again. So you right now have this idea that you want to quit scrolling as much, you want to get more work done, you want to focus on making your life better. If you don't capitalize off this right now, there's a good chance that you'll continue scrolling. You'll probably scroll right after this. You'll go onto another app. So right now, you could literally go to the store, get you a notebook, and physically write it down, everything you need to do every day. Make sure you hold yourself accountable. Remove distractions. You know what you need to do. As a man, you need to get rich as fuck. You need to retire everybody in your fucking bloodline and build that business that's gonna make your family generational wealth. And that's not gonna happen if you're distracted and you're in dopamine loops for these bigger companies. You need to figure out how can you capitalize off the masses who are fucking scrolling. That's what I did. I sell using videos. I get millions of dollars of sales every single year from people buying stuff off my videos, my TikToks, my Instagram, you know what I mean? So you can either be the consumer or you can be the creator. And if you're consuming too much, you cannot create. It's just the truth. If you have too much consumption, it's gonna take away from your creation. So you swap those roles, you're gonna be so much farther in life. be so much happier and feel like you're achieving so much more because you're getting true dopamine from completing true tasks, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So I appreciate you guys watching. My name's Patrick. I don't sell a course or anything. I genuinely just make videos because I enjoy making videos, and I want to help younger people that are struggling with shit that I've struggled with make it to the next level, because I wish I had this whenever I was younger. I wish I could talk to younger me and put me down the right path.